Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. National Institute of Food Technology and Entrepreneurship. I'm very happy to be part of your faculty development program, Entrepreneurship Development. My name is Professor Prasad. I work at National Institute of Industrial Engineering. I promote enterprising education. I also look after the center called Center for Student Startups at NITI. At the outset, let me present to you a slogan. The slogan is Becho Siko Socho. The title of my presentation is Mandi Model of Learning. Mandi Model of Learning. The whole talk which I am going to do relates to a concept called Mandi Model of Learning. I'll take to the next slide. The mission of Mandi Model of Learning is that what is promised in the Indian Constitution. संविधान में क्या हमें दी गई है कि we are supposed to have an equal opportunity of education to all. So this is an important thing. प्रतिष्ठा और अवसर की समता. So we need to have an education equal to everybody, and it's not happening for last so many years. So the Mandi model of learning ensured to see that how learning opportunity, education opportunity is available to everybody. This can be converted into सबको शिक्षा, education to all. सभी को शिक्षा. I mean, it's nothing to do with the educational background of their parents, their intelligence, are they from rural or urban places, are they male or female, or reserved or non-reserved. So every human being is entitled to have an education. This is being taught in a primary education, Sarva Shiksha Vigyan, but this is not being taught so much in higher education. Even now the higher education is not for all, but only for few people, maybe around 15 to 20% of people who are eligible to get into higher education. Actually, the eligibility of higher education itself should be open. सबको शिक्षा जरूरी है. और दूसरा चीज है क्या कि सही शिक्षा, right education. Very few are getting educated, and those who are getting educated in real sense they are not educated. So उनको गलत शिक्षा मिल रही है. So this is possible in terms of, this is visible in terms of non-employability and also a lot of inhuman features which you can see the educated people. Actually, the problems of this world relate to more caused by educated rather than uneducated. So in such a case, you can't say that education is sahi. तीसरी मुद्दा क्या है कि सारी शिक्षा, सबको शिक्षा, सही शिक्षा और सारी शिक्षा. All education should be available to all. What we education got is that very fraction of it. Anybody wants to learn something is eligible, not allowed to study. Specializations come in the way, many other kind of thing. So if anybody wants to study A to Z of education, that should be made available, that should be accessible to people. One more thing which the Mandi mission of learning looks at is Swatantra Shiksha. What we have today is not Swatantra Shiksha, it is Aswatantra Shiksha. It's not Swadeshi Shiksha, it is Paradeshi Shiksha. It is not Swayatta Shiksha, it is not Swamitta Shiksha, it is Nimitta Shiksha. So these are the fundamental orientations of Mandi model of learning. I'll take to the next slide. The basic principles of Mandi learning or right learning. If you say something is right learning, what do you mean by that? Mandi learning mode will see in three different aspects. One is zero cost education. Education should be almost zero or zero cost. So its interpretation is fees wapas education. It doesn't mean that fees is not paid, but whatever the fees is paid, the educated will get it back in the education by the time one passes out. So that in effect, education is zero cost. So that conceptualization, such a conceptualization rarely exists in the world, anywhere in the world. Now, return on investment is different and revenue based education is different. What zero cost talks about and fees wapas talks about is revenue based education, not return on investment education. You spend now, get revenue in the long run is the principle on which education is followed. Mandi model of learning doesn't believe this. So zero cost education or fees wapas education is one of the important definitions of right learning. Second more important thing is that students and the learner should say once more education. There is a lot of disinterest in the education. People aspire to get educated. Once education is over, they got averse to education. This is what happens. So the second more important thing which we look at is that education should be such a wonderful opportunity where everybody wants to have again and again. That's called once more education. Third principle about right learning, right education is this: everybody is employable and nobody wants to be employed. This is very perplexing kind of thing. Now, why this Mandi principle third is there is that education is designed for employment. And Mandi believes that education might make people employable, but it's their choice whether they want to be employed or not. So they might not be employed, they might not be interested to be employed, rather they might be interested to employ others. That's nothing wrong. So the third aspect principle comes into the scene. There are many others, but for this session, I would like to stress about these three important principles. And as we go by, I'll bring in more principles. Mandi learning method can be told in this sentence. Commerce students learn commerce and earn at least 1/12 of commerce learning expenses by commercializing the commerce subject. I think commerce has appeared so many times. In BCom, MCom students, this is the orientation which would like to any MBA students also. I myself is a commerce student, and all my 3 years of graduation and 2 years of post-graduation, I studied commerce, and I am not made even 1 rupee out of commerce. So when I became an MBA teacher, it struck me that how come commerce cannot be learned without earning, without commercializing the commerce subject. Actually, coming from a humble background, I worked as a tailor. I'm a tailor. I can make pant and shirt. I can stitch pant and shirt. Actually, I used to stitch pant and shirts and supported my education all through my primary school to high school to university education. So I get surprised, how come commerce cannot be learned without commercializing? How come MBA cannot be learned without making a business way? Now, business way means people immediately will feel bad about it, saying that no, how come education can be business? If a commerce education, how come one can learn without commercializing? Is it possible for a singer to learn singing without singing? Is it possible for a dancer learning dance without dancing? How come commerce can be learned without commercializing? What's wrong if they commercialize and retrieve the fees what there? And Mandi model advocates that at least ek battha bara, if 12 parts 12 हिस्सा लागत हो तो एक हिस्सा आगत जरूरी है. So that is the reason why Mandi is operationalized with commerce students learn commerce and earn at least 1/12 of commerce learning expenses by commercializing the commerce subject itself. So this is the basic methodology or technology of Mandi mode of learning. It can be told like पढ़ाई की खर्चा पढ़ाई में पढ़ाई से पढ़ाई के लिए निकालना. पढ़ाई की खर्चा पढ़ाई में पढ़ाई से पढ़ाई के लिए निकालना. చదువు ఖర్చు చదువులో చదువుతూ చదువులో చదువుతూ చదువు కొరకు తీయాలి. शिक्षणाचा खर्च शिक्षणामध्ये शिक्षणा करीत शिक्षणासाठी कमवा. So there can be operationalization can be done of Mandi model of learning, and this is what the Mandi model which we do at NITI at Mumbai. Basically, we conceptualized two models, one at a short, very small, tiny kind of thing, and another is very extended model of things is there. So in the continuum of 1 day to 2 years, 3 years program, the Mandi model can be designed depending upon the requirements and interest and also facilities available. So let me give an idea about two extremes. That is Mahamandi, which is a field selling experiment. This is 1 day being done, and this is being done for the last 15 years at NITI Mumbai. The other one is student startups. So this is a very extended program where it is embedded part of regular academic learning. We usually done at PG levels, MCom, MBA, all these kind of courses, professional degrees. But it can be extended to even BA, BCom, BSc, MA, MCom, MSc. So it need not be restricted only one particular course as it is. So there are two major formats which we have created, Mahamandi and other is student startups. I'll give an idea about these two things in the next slides coming up. Actually, these models, Mahamandi model is designed on many principles. Like, for example, in manufacturing, there are 8 ways of 8 ways in production. Actually, if 8 ways are taken care, automatically production happens very well. So we have applied these 8 ways for education, and there is a lot of ways in education. If one be able to cater to these 8 ways, patch up these 8 ways, Mandi automatically happens. Similarly, there is also one more model called series learning, series mode of learning. Similarly, there is a digestion outlook. There can also be effectuation model. This is by Saras Saraswati. There are many models like that. There is a lean startup model, which is again one more thing which we can look at. So there are many ways, very fundamental basics for this thinking. 8 ways, defects. There are a lot of students who pass out who are defects. Actually, remedial classes and finishing schools, these are all basically meant for defects, graduate defects, postgraduate defects. The overproduction, here I would like to say more than overproduction, there is no overproduction of graduates in the country, in the society. Actually, everybody should be educated. Rather, I would like to take the other one, extra processing. Actually, that's more important. Last point, if you look at now, the too much polishing, too much teaching is being done in education. Actually, more than required is being done. Education is not for the design, not for the benefit of students, but it is the benefit of teachers. It is being designed. So this is the way how Mandi will be thinking about. There is too much of waiting. I need not tell about how many days colleges work, maybe around 100, 120, 130 days work out of 360 days. So there is a huge time. Youth, youngsters, Gen Y students, time is wasted. Non-utilized talent, actually it is a drain. Wonderful students, they got talents which are absolutely different. We have never seen the kind of generation which are there, and they're all getting wasted. Transportation, unnecessary movement, basically. This class, that class, this as an inventory. There's a lot of waste again. Motion, same thing, extra processing. I will not go deep into that. I just try to give some idea to you. This is a series model of education thing. We understand that there are a lot of learning activities undertaken by the students, and if these learning activities हम जोड़ने से, all these learning activities, if at all we combine them, connect them, complement them, connect them in a complementary way, they work as a batteries in a torch. So this is like MANDI. So it has got a plus and minus nodes. So every course in this 2 years program, we got 35 courses which are being offered, has got a, this we can take it as a resistor. So each resistor has got a plus and minus side. If we connect plus minus and plus minus, actually either the educators don't connect or they might wrongly connect it. So either way it happens. But connected in complementary way, automatically if the light is being there, automatically it glows. So the 2 years program can be taken as a circuit. 30 courses can be taken as a batteries, which are called resistors, and they are connected in a complementary way. And there need to be a bulb so that the light is being developed like this. In the series model, the important thing is flow of current, and next more important thing is voltage. In learning also, what will be education also, we should look at two important things: more learning, and there should also be intensity of learning. This is called voltage. Voltage will lead to light. So intensity of learning will lead to earning. So the bulb in a circuit is akin to a startup in an academic system. So education system can create a startup for the student, for a group of students, 1 2 students, then automatically the bulb, the startup will become valuable. So this is series model of concept, which I would like to take it more on that. We'll have a more questions. Digestive system, if you look at the small intestine and large intestine, higher education, Unnat Shiksha, is more similar to large intestine. You know that small intestine, primary, secondary school, college is very different compared to higher education. Unfortunately, even higher education is also working very similar to primary and secondary. If you look at the digestion canal, the large intestine's function is very different from small intestine. Small intestine digests it, but a large intestine extracts the sattva, the energy, the strength, and uses it like this. Unfortunately, higher education is not doing what it is supposed to do it like. So we need to convert UG, PG studies into a value creating system so that the primary and secondary school systems will become earlier systems which will be supporting the later system. This is also a digestive model which we can talk about it like that. You understand, there is no need to tell about this cartoon. So these are all criticism of current education. Current education is broiler chickens which are being done. They are made for industry requirement. Boneless chickens, mindless students have been created. So they are being fed for 2 years, 3 days, 3 months, 4 months, 2 years, 3 years, and then created for the people. This is like ICU system of education like this. Students are being put on ICU and then meditate like that. They're never allowed to do on their own. Swayam Shiksha is not there. Self-learning is least. It is always the teachers' experiences coming from libraries and outside which are fed to the students. Actually, students is never in the center stage. So this is forest and also irrigated this thing. Students need to be a forest rather than a irrigated lands. Forest is more useful rather than the irrigated land. Mandi vision is 10 crore Indian students to earn their livelihood. सिखाना खाना देना है बगर खाना सिखाना it's waste. So that's the whole. This lady, she's master of fisheries. So she's selling fish. The guy who is a master of fishing is buying from her. So rather it should have been otherwise. Like the educated MSc fisheries guy should have sold this so that he can create awareness among the buyers. What is a good fish? What is a sattvic food? What is nutritious fish? They are not agriculture, BSc or this thing. So Mahamandish, Shanti Vajayate, Hamad, 3 programs. I'll give an idea to you. The products which we give to the students at NITI, 500-600 students, they have been given these products. They're supposed to go out and sell it, and they sell it. And the selling experience being used to impart them MBA concepts to them. So multiple concepts, multiple subjects related economics, strategy, communication, marketing, everything is being taught to them. So students do selling and they also create a lot of assignments out of this one day real time Mandi visit, real sales, they do it like that. These products are chosen very well. They are chosen with a very conscious kind of thing. They're all student related products. So primary school and high school students will be using these products. So the higher education students will be selling these products to the parents, to the roadside people, so that the students will be able to get benefited out of it. So senior students helping the junior students can be one way of looking at the Mandi, because senior students who went through these particular problems, they can enlighten, they can help the juniors far better, and the higher education can make better the primary and secondary education. So this is a popular program at NITI Mumbai for the last 15 years. Go to YouTube and see a lot of videos. You can see Mandi, Mahamandi, this. You can see on the roadside how students are doing sales. And this will lead to the students' personality development. You look at an MBA student who is going to get around 20-25 lakh rupees salary, goes to a chapel shop and trying to sell these wonderful products to the chapel shop owner. So this kind of an experience will become an important builder for these students. It is done part of regular exercise. Students get marks for it, money for it, and also wonderful development. These are all products which are. We have a Shanti Vajayate program in which we make students to campaign Gandhiji's autobiography copies, my experiments with truth. So these UG and PG students, MBA student, MCOM student have sold as many as 5 lakh titles of Gandhiji's autobiography. Every book they sell, they get 10 rupees commission, but they also make assignments out of it in terms of marketing, OB, human resource management, training, economics, strategy, supply chain, operations, IT, digital marketing, all these kind of things. So it is serving Gandhi, but actually using Gandhi for self-benefit. It's nothing wrong for a graduate students to go out and sell Gandhiji's autobiography and learn from the customers. The whole idea is this. Anybody can learn and anybody can learn from anybody. So learning need not be happen only in the classroom, only from the professors, only through examinations, only through college. How much college and the academic institutions will allow outside to come inside and they embed it part of regular learning. The argument of Mandi is that don't make it extracurricular. Try to make as much as possible intracurricular. The more you make outside as part of internal, the internal becomes strengthened. And this is the most important thing like this. The second thing is when the students go out, relate with outside market, the conversion, the monetization, the conversion of Saraswati into Lakshmi, and which requires Durga, becomes very easy. Actually, conversion of Lakshmi into Saraswati is what education institutions so far doing it like that. What Mandi does it, converting Saraswati into Lakshmi, so that there is a requirement of Durga, which is enterprising. So the model of Mandi model of learning tries to stress on the enterprising education, where value is created, knowledge is practiced, and skills are developed, attitudes are developed, ethics are created, and new knowledge is created, new creations are being created, and students become ready to become a job givers rather than job takers. Let us go to the next slide. These are all Diwali candles which are being sold as a design experiments for the students. The model of the student startups is this. So the central core is our business, which is Hamara Dhanda, and each of the subjects becomes around it. And slowly, all these subjects will get matched into the my business and Hamara Dhanda. So the learning and doing business is not two different things, rather they are two sides of the same coin, upwards and reverse. So this is the student startups model. At NIT, students are made to register a company, an enterprise, because they have a partnership act, they have a company's law they have to understand. So how they understand company's law? How they understand memorandum of association, articles of association? They draft their own articles of association for their own company. So they understand the company's act, which is a curriculum-based topic to be looked at. So this is part of company laws. So they understand it. These are all the documents which are the government of India and All India Council for Technical Education came out with a policy, startup policy for the students. So most of you must have seen it. If you have not seen it, this particular presentation tries to ask you that you must see this AST 2016. Go to the net and download this particular policy book. You will see it. There is a book by Rashmi Bansal, Arise and Awake, which most of the educators must have not read it. This is a book on student startups, how college graduates started their startups when they were college students. Actually, these cases are student startups, but none of these cases are encouraged by or being done part of regular education. Unfortunate. So the message Rashmi would like to give you is that why not the student startups given recognition by the academics, which is being advocated by startup policy of AICTE. There is one gentleman's name, this left side, he's called world's youngest CEO. Maybe he's in 8th class or 9th class, he became a CEO and he's speaking on World Economic Forum. I don't want to mention the name of this person, He's from Karnataka. World youngest CEO. You just type on Google, you'll get it. Should I tell the name? Should I? His name is Suhas Gopinath. He started the company when he was in 8th standard. Later he has done his engineering from MS Ramaya also. But his enterprise nothing to do with education. Whereas NITI promote these enterprises part of education. That is the uniqueness of this presentation. So achievements. We have several companies in the last 15-20 years. We got 500-600 companies we got. Cashify is a company which tries to buy these second use mobiles, Radiwala. So we have today everywhere we got as used mobiles. So this gentleman, for example, is the king in Indian market, and also similarly is also a king in China. Lalton is a company which is artisans database, where this is a platform where 8,000 artisans of Indian origin are exporting products to worldwide multinational companies. So this forum works as a Flipkart or Amazon and arranges products to worldwide businesses. Ranchi Mall is into blockchain related company. Matic Network again is a blockchain related company. It's very new recently for its wonderful work. WOW is a alumni network again. Drivers in Hyderabad based company where they arrange drivers for your cars when you want it. There are many companies of this sort. So go to net and ask for Mandi or student startups. You get the list more. I'll go to the next slide. We got awards. This is Gold Medal Award, Gold Award, Association of Management Schools. This is at ISB Hyderabad. The gentleman is Dean, Professor Dane. Okay, it's as early as 2009. We got Mandi kind of thing. My colleague, Professor Sudhir Thume, is here. He is no more. The block t-shirt backside. So great company I had, and we worked together and have done this exercise. Mandi learning method, and this is a super teacher called Mandi. Whoever is doing this kind of an activity can be called as Mandi. So the slogan of the gentleman teacher, the lady, the teachers are is that bech ke sikho, sikhai bech ke sikho. We love to have more interaction with you. Please talk to, and the contact numbers are being given. If you have more questions, please take it forward. बेचो सीखो सोचो बेच बेच के सीखो सबको शिक्षा सही शिक्षा सारा शिक्षा जय बोलो स्वतंत्र भारत की जय बोलो स्वतंत्र शिक्षा को हर एक इंसान पढ़ सकता है हर एक इंसान से सीख सकता है जितना सीखा पूरा बेचना जब जब सीखा तब तब बेचना जितना खोया उतना पाना लागत जितना आगत उतना. These are the typical slogans of Mandi. I am not in physical with you, otherwise I would allow to make you to sing these songs. Go to Mahamandi website, go to YouTube and just type Mandi anthem, Mandi kind of thing. You'll be able to see it. Friends, I am open for questions. Thank you very much. Share about this Mandi experiments with others. Love to interact with you. Blogs are there, YouTube is there, LinkedIn is there. All these things are listed. Okay. Thank you very much.